All right. Welcome back to the podcast. We are going to talk about the ending of a king.
The first king.
First king of Israel. Guy started out really good, but then he kind of fell off, and it just spiraled down from there.
It fell off, and it fell off fast.
It did. You know, as I was doing some research, for the message I preached this morning about, or Sunday, excuse me, preached on Sunday, because I don't know when this thing's going to be put out.
Time machine.
Yeah, on Sunday. Yeah. I was looking at David and how he was considered a man after God's own heart. The difference that I can see in David versus Saul is that David had heartfelt repentance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when David made mistakes, and David's going to make some big mistakes, he was repentive. And so he immediately, I say that. Eventually, he hit his knees and asked the Lord for forgiveness, and he meant it.
Which is more than Saul ever did.
Yeah, I don't see Saul as repentive. You know what I'm saying?
No, he always just said, I want God back on my side. How do I do that?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
There was no heartfelt,
Yeah.
Lord, forgive me, I've messed up here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he did say it, I think it was more out of fear.
Yeah. It's like things aren't going well for me right now, so I need God back on
I
my
should
side.
try this.
And so that's a difference I see. That's a difference that I kind of see with Saul and David. Yeah. And the reason why, even though David is going to make some huge mistakes in his rule, the Lord doesn't just cast him out. So, what we got here? What do we got going on? Well, now the Philistines fought against Israel. The Israelites fed before them, and many fell dead. And to kind of give you a quick overview, basically we have Saul and his armor bearer, and they're not doing so well, and Saul becomes critically wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, if I know what critically means, that means he's going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not a critical wound, he was overreacting a little bit.
Exactly. But it sounds like this was the end of life. He was going to die.
Scraped his knee.
Just end it. Yeah.
And so, to avoid being killed by the Philistines and what they would do to him.
I think he was more concerned about not being killed.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't as critically as we think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it says they wounded him critically. I would assume. But then you have that going and whatever they're going to do to you once they capture you.
Yeah.
It's like,
So he turns to his armor bearer. Poor armor bearer. Draw your sword, run me through, or these uncircumcised fellows will come and run me through and abuse me. Well, I hate to tell you, they're going to abuse him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. He, in his mind, he'd rather be dead for that.
Mm-hmm. And the armor bearer, of course, says, I'm not doing it.
It's a trap, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not killing a king.
Nope, no, I'm not doing it. So then Saul, what does he do? He takes his own sword and he fell on it. Clumsy guy, man.
Yep. Tripped and fell.
Just tripped and fell on the sword. And then when the armor bearer saw that Saul was dead, he too slipped and fell on his sword and died with him. I'm just kidding. They didn't slip and fall. It just says they fell on their sword.
Yep. Because they figured it'd be better off to just take their own lives than
And they're probably right. And at that point, in that moment, he's probably not wrong.
Those were brutal times. And the Philistines were a brutal people.
Yep. And so I get why they were at that point. Yeah. So Saul and his 3 sons and his armor bearer and all of his men died together that same day. Yep. And just like that, the end of Saul. And when the Israelites along the valley and those across the Jordan saw that the Israelite army had fled and that Saul and his sons had died, they abandoned their towns and fled. Then the Philistines came and occupied them. The next day when the Philistines came to strip the dead, they found them, Saul and his 3 sons. And they cut off their heads, stripped them of their armor, and they sent messengers throughout the land of Philistine to proclaim the news. Which, they probably thought they had actually won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, because in most cases, it doesn't apply to God's people, but in most cases, you get the king, game over.
It's like chess.
We did it. That's right. Just like chess, right? We took their king is dead.
Mm-hmm. They can't do anything now.
We did it. Mm-hmm. Little do they know that the guy who's actually been living among them for the last however long that was, is about to wipe
them out and finish the job. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to set up a kingdom, like none other.
He's taking out the trash.
Yep. And so then they fastened his body to the wall and made a mockery of him, basically. And then they got these people from Jabesh Gilead. Heard what the Philistines had done. And all their valiant men marched through the night to Ben Shan. They took down the bodies of Saul from the wall, and they went back to Jabesh where they burned them. And they took their bones and buried them under the tamarisk tree at Jabesh, and they fasted 7 days. It still amazes to me, that you had these guys who are like, yeah, we're not doing that. They can't do that to the king even though he was dead.
Right.
And they went and got him and brought him back.
Yep.
It's always interesting when you're looking at the end of life stuff, you know what I'm saying, and the choice that Saul had to make at that last point right before he died. I wonder if that was the best option for him. I don't know. It'll be a question I'll have to ask.
Yeah.
When I get to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some serious things to consider when you're coming down to your last moments.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even begin to imagine the things that were running through Saul's head at that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially knowing that Samuel had already told him that this was going to happen. This is where he was going to perish.
And all your men are dying. Your sons are dead.
Your sons are dead, yes.
Yeah.
So it's not just an ending of a kingdom.
Right,
it's an end of a line.
And a fulfillment of what you had already been told, too.
Yeah.
Yep. And now you're watching it unfold before you.
It happening.
And the very thing that you tried to avoid by chasing David was going to come to fruition now.
Yep.
Because...
Just like that.
Yep. Because David was going to take over. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's a lot, if I were to put myself in Saul's place, there would be a lot of emotions running right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
That, on top of that, you're scared to death because you got the Philistines, you've lost this battle, they're coming at you, and you're basically critically wounded.
Yeah.
And you're also afraid of what they're going to do if they actually catch you. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, even after they found him, they still did some things to make a mockery of him.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so, it's just, it just had to be an intense time and an intense moment.
Oh, yeah.
There. So, anyway, it will be interesting when I get to heaven to ask some more questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the ending of Saul. That's it. There is no more.
Nope.
David does take care of one of his sons later on as a gift, not to Saul, but to Jonathan.
Correct.
Because David and Jonathan were very good friends.
They're buddies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he was able to do that. It's nice to see that, that even though a lot of people in Israel fled, there were some that still had some courage.
Yes.
And they went and they got the king and those bodies off the wall. Yep. So that's kind of where we're going to leave it. As we wind down this podcast, it's just that we're ending the Saul. We're making way for now David to step in.
And
and begin the process of
the kingdom can truly be built now.
Yep. I think that God wanted to do more with it, but due to some sin from what David did, he was only able to do so much.
Right.
Which is what you see happen when Solomon becomes king. That's when you really see the height of the Israel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Israeli empire. It just was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there was a time ever that it was as rich or as prosperous as it was at that moment when Solomon was
Under
king.
Solomon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All because of the groundwork that David
David set up. Yep.
Yeah.
David did all the fighting, and Solomon reaped the rewards.
Yep.
Granted, Solomon was also the wisest man ever known to man, too.
Yeah.
So that
Correct.
plays
Helps.
into. So he knew the decisions to make.
It's a pretty good label.
Yeah.
Wisest
the
man
wisest man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, Solomon. All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic week. We'll see you next time.